There's a mixture that costs about $1 made from a single white powder, capable of returning nearly every piece of cookware in a kitchen to its original appearance. Burned residue fused to the base of stainless steel pots. Tarnish covering copper bottom pans. The chalky oxidation that clouds aluminum cookware. Heat stains discoloring well-used skillets. All of it can be removed in less than 10 minutes, exposing the bright metal surface underneath. It is not steel wool that leaves scratches and damages the finish. It is not a harsh industrial degreaser that fills the room with fumes and carries warnings about leaving the area during application. It is not one of the $40 specialty cleaners, sold for specific metals, that last only a short time before requiring another purchase. Instead, it is a single powder that works on stainless steel, copper, aluminum, brass, and even glass cooktops through a gentle acidic process that professional restaurant kitchens have relied on for more than a century. Meanwhile, consumers have been directed toward a wide range of branded products that often cost 10 to 30 times more. A commercial kitchen would never discard a stained stainless steel pot simply because of discoloration. During the evening cleanup, it would be restored and placed back into service the next day. Home cooks, by contrast, are often led to believe that discoloration is permanent or that replacement is the only solution. The difference is not equipment, it is not expertise, it is knowledge. The economics behind consumer cookware encourage replacement rather than maintenance. In 2023, the global cookware industry exceeded $20 billion. A significant share of those sales comes from people replacing cookware they assume cannot be restored after becoming discolored, stained, or dull. Alongside replacement purchases is a separate market built around specialized cleaning products. Copper polishes commonly sell for $12 to $20 per bottle. Stainless steel cleaners often cost $8 to $15. Aluminum brighteners command similar prices. Restoration kits can exceed $40. Each product is marketed for a specific material. Each offers only temporary improvement. Each is designed to be purchased again. Above that market sits the professional restoration service sector, where restaurants pay hundreds of dollars per visit to have commercial cookware returned to near new condition. The entire structure depends on consumers never discovering that the same restoration method used in professional kitchens can be found in the baking section of nearly every grocery store for less than $1. For more than 100 years, that ingredient has remained one of the most effective tools for restoring cookware. It works across nearly every common kitchen metal through a simple, acidic reaction. No conspiracy was required to keep this knowledge out of the mainstream. The industry simply had no incentive to promote the least expensive universal solution available. Cream of tartar cannot be patented. A company cannot build a $20 billion replacement business around a powder that customers purchase once and use for years. It is difficult to sell a $20 copper polish to someone who understands that a small amount of cream of tartar mixed with warm water can return copper to a mirror-like shine in only 2 minutes. The chemistry behind this mild acid restoration process has been understood for well over a century. Professional culinary references documented it. Chefs and kitchen managers quietly passed the technique from one generation to the next. It became one of those practical trade secrets separating experienced professionals from beginners. The knowledge never disappeared because it failed. It faded from consumer awareness because selling separate products for every metal proved far more profitable than teaching people that one inexpensive ingredient could handle them all. To understand where the practice began, it helps to look back at the great French kitchens of the late 19th century, where many foundations of modern professional cooking were established. The leading hotels and restaurants of Paris relied heavily on copper cookware. Copper pots, copper pans, and copper mixing bowls were maintained at a brilliant shine. Keeping them polished was both a matter of pride and an indicator of kitchen discipline. Copper responds exceptionally well to heat, but it also oxidizes quickly. A kitchen filled with dull, darkened copper was viewed as evidence of poor standards. The chefs of that era were already familiar with a substance from their pastry work. Cream of tartar, a crystalline acid that naturally formed inside wine barrels during fermentation, was also an essential ingredient in soufflés and meringues. When combined with a small amount of water or applied with a damp cloth to a tarnished copper surface, cream of tartar removed the oxidation layer within minutes. The result was bright, reflective copper restored to its original appearance. This method moved from experienced chefs to apprentices throughout the grand hotels and culinary schools of France. It appeared in the professional cooking manuals that shaped the period and spread across the restaurant industry as a core element of kitchen maintenance. As the early and middle decades of the 20th century arrived, major American restaurant kitchens increasingly shifted from copper cookware to stainless steel. That transition introduced a different set of challenges. High cooking temperatures created rainbow-colored oxide films across pot walls and bottoms. Burned food deposits became chemically attached to metal surfaces. Through experience and repeated observation, chefs and kitchen supervisors discovered something important. The same cream of tartar that generations of French cooks had relied upon for copper restoration also worked effectively on stainless steel. It removed heat discoloration and loosened burned residue while leaving the underlying metal intact and free from scratches. By the middle of the century, cream of tartar paste had become a standard component of commercial cookware restoration. Large containers were commonly stored in professional kitchens. Staff mixed it into solutions or pastes whenever needed, and used it during closing duties to return cookware to factory-level brightness. Professional culinary publications from the era, including restaurant operation guides, kitchen management references, and trade journals, regularly discussed cream of tartar restoration methods as accepted knowledge among industry professionals. Meanwhile, the consumer cookware market followed a different path. The identical problem was presented as requiring separate chemical solutions sold at premium prices. Yet the science behind the process had been understood long before any modern cookware care industry existed. In 1769, more than a century before the great French kitchens adopted the practice, the Swedish chemist Carl Wilhelm Scheele successfully isolated tartaric acid from cream of tartar and described its chemical properties. Tartaric acid is a naturally occurring organic acid created by grapes during wine fermentation. Cream of tartar, known chemically as potassium bitartrate, is the crystalline substance that separates from fermenting wine. The underlying chemistry had already been understood for roughly 2 centuries before the consumer cookware maintenance industry emerged. Throughout that period, the use of cream of tartar for restoring metals appeared in chemistry texts, household management references, and culinary literature. When the consumer market expanded during the latter half of the 20th century, it did not create superior chemistry. It created more effective packaging and more aggressive advertising. The same chemical principles were placed into branded containers and sold at premium prices, while the cream of tartar available in the baking aisle remained largely unnoticed by homeowners, comparing specialized cleaning products in another section of the store. The science behind its effectiveness is surprisingly simple. Understanding what occurs when cream of tartar contacts metal discoloration explains why one ingredient can work across so many different cookware materials. The active compound is potassium bitartrate, represented by the formula Kc4H06. It is a mild organic acid that exists in crystalline form. When dissolved in water, it creates a weak acidic solution with a pH of approximately 3 to 4. It is gentle enough to remain food safe and suitable for use in meringues, candies, and baked goods. At the same time, it possesses enough acidity to trigger specific reactions on oxidized metal surfaces. The stains and discolorations commonly found on cookware are various forms of metal oxides and deposited metal salts. The blue-brown heat tint found on stainless steel consists of thin layers of iron and chromium oxides. The dark patina that develops on copper is composed of copper oxide and copper carbonate. The chalk-like white coating that forms on aluminum is aluminum oxide. The stubborn burned layer fused to cookware bottoms consists of carbonized organic material attached to an underlying oxide surface. Tartaric acid acts against all of these contaminants through 2 simultaneous chemical processes. The first mechanism is straightforward. The weak acid reacts directly with metal oxides through an acid neutralization process. As that reaction occurs, the oxide layer is converted into soluble metal tartrate compounds that can be washed away with water. The second mechanism is even more important. Tartaric acid also functions as a chelating agent. Its molecular structure contains multiple oxygen-binding sites capable of attaching to metal ions and drawing them into solution. This is the same general process that allows citric acid to perform effectively against rust. Together, mild acid hydrolysis and chelation remove oxidation cleanly while leaving the underlying metal unharmed. Tartaric acid shows little chemical attraction to pure elemental metal. Its activity is directed primarily toward oxidized material. A review published in 2015 examining food-grade acid cleaning methods used in industrial and commercial kitchen environments concluded that tartaric acid and citric acid provide one of the best balances between effectiveness and safety for routine cookware restoration across many different metal surfaces. That dual action process explains why cream of tartar works on such a wide variety of cookware materials. It breaks down and captures oxide layers regardless of the metal beneath them while preserving the clean metal surface underneath. The process itself is simple. Begin by purchasing cream of tartar from any grocery store. It is normally found in the baking section in either small containers or larger bags. The cost generally falls between $2 and $5, enough for dozens of restoration treatments. For stainless steel cookware affected by burned residue or heat discoloration, add enough water to cover the damaged area. Mix in 2 to 3 tablespoons of cream of tartar. Heat the solution until it reaches a gentle simmer and maintain that temperature for 10 to 15 minutes. Burned deposits will loosen and heat stains will dissolve into the liquid. For copper cookware, combine cream of tartar with a small quantity of warm water and several drops of dish soap to create a thin paste. Spread the mixture across the tarnished surface using a soft cloth. Rub gently with circular movements. Within 2 to 3 minutes, the tarnish will disappear and the copper will regain a bright, reflective finish. Rinse completely and dry at once. For aluminum cookware covered with a chalky oxide layer, place 3 tablespoons of cream of tartar into 1 quart of water directly inside the pot. Bring the mixture to a simmer and maintain it for 10 minutes. Allow the cookware to cool. Then, scrub lightly with a non-abrasive pad before rinsing thoroughly. The aluminum should appear noticeably cleaner and brighter. For stainless steel cooktops, sinks, and similar surfaces, apply cream of tartar directly to a damp cloth. Rub following the direction of the metal grain. Watermarks, fingerprints, and stains will disappear, leaving behind a consistent satin appearance. After any restoration treatment, rinse the cookware completely with clean water. Dry it immediately. This prevents residual acid from remaining on the surface and reduces the formation of new water spots as moisture evaporates. For regular upkeep, a small container of cream of tartar paste stored beneath the sink can address most discoloration that develops during everyday cooking. The cost of each treatment remains extremely low. In most cases, less than $1 worth of cream of tartar is required, while a single container can provide dozens of applications over many years. By comparison, branded copper polish often costs between $12 and $20. Specialized stainless steel cleaners typically range from $8 to $15. Multi-step restoration kits can cost $40 or more. Replacing an entire cookware set may require spending hundreds of dollars. There are several safety considerations. Cream of tartar is food grade and ranks among the safest cleaning agents commonly found in kitchens. It is the same ingredient regularly used in baking and food preparation. For extended cleaning sessions, wearing gloves is recommended because prolonged exposure to the mild acid can dry the skin. Contact with the eyes should also be avoided when applying paste mixtures. Cream of tartar should not be used on non-stick coatings such as Teflon or ceramic non-stick finishes. Before cooking again, rinse all treated cookware thoroughly so no remaining acid alters the flavor of food. The powder should be stored in a sealed container and kept in a dry location. The principle behind this method has existed for generations. The chefs of 19th century Paris relied on it to maintain copper cookware at a mirror finish. American restaurant kitchens during the middle of the 20th century adopted it as a standard procedure for stainless steel maintenance. Chemistry literature spanning 2 centuries has documented both the process and the science behind it. A simple container of powder from the baking aisle can restore cookware throughout an entire kitchen at a cost lower than a single bottle of many branded cleaning products. If you found this information useful, share it with others who may have cookware they believe cannot be restored. Small pieces of practical knowledge often save far more money than expensive products ever can. Please leave your thoughts about this content in the comments below. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.